Alright, so now we're going to be covering the concept of scope in JavaScript. So how this is going to work is I'll read out the concept and then straight afterwards we'll be doing exercises and practicing it. So by the end of this video the goal is for you to have a good understanding of the concept of scope in JavaScript. So let's get right into it. Alright, scope. Scope. An important idea in programming is scope. Scope defines where variables can be accessed or referenced. While some variables can be accessed from anywhere within a program, other variables may only be available in a specific context. A specific context. You can think of scope like the view of the night sky from your window. Everyone who lives on the planet Earth is in the global scope of the stars. So the stars are accessible globally, so everyone has access to them. That's a good analogy. Right, meanwhile, if you live in a city, you may see the city skyline or the river. The skyline and river are only accessible locally. So we have globally and we have locally, two concepts. In your city, but you can still see the stars that are available globally. So if you're locally, you can still see the stars that are available globally. But say if you were globally, you couldn't still see the stars locally. You'll see, this will become clear later on. Over the next few exercises, we'll explore how scope relates to variables and learn best practices for variable declaration. Alright, so let's get right into it. Blocks and scope. Before we talk more about scope, we first need to talk about blocks. Alright, so we're going to be covering blocks. We'll code it out straight after and do the exercises. So we've seen blocks used before in functions and if statements. A block is the code found inside a set of curly braces. So a block of code is the one within the curly braces in a function. Blocks help us group one or more statements together and serve as an important structural marker for our code. A block of code could be a function like this. Make my head a bit smaller. There we go. Very nice. Okay, carry on. A block of code could be a function like this. So we have a constant variable with the name of log sky color, a function expression using arrow syntax, the curly braces of let color equal to blue. So we're declaring a variable called color. Its value is blue, and then constant log color, which gives us blue. So we can copy and paste that into the code editor. Notice that the function body is actually a block of code. Yes, observe the block in an if statement. If dusk, run, this is the block of code. Let color equal to pink, constant log color pink. In the next few exercises, we'll see how blocks define the scope of variables. Alright, so now on to the exercises. Step 1. At the top of main.js, declare a const variable named city set equal to New York City. This variable will exist outside of the code block. Alright, so declare a const variable, const named city set equal, so we'll assign New York City to it. New York City. And now we'll run. There we go, we get the check. Below the city variable, actually I'll comment these out because that's why it's giving us errors on the right. Okay, that's gone. Now step 2, below the city variable, write a function named log city skyline. Alright, so below the city variable, write a function, actually maybe function expression would be better for this. So const log city skyline equal to inputs, which gives us an arrow. Okay, run. Yep, check. Inside of the function body of log city skyline, write another variable using let. So inside of the body, write another variable let. Okay, let skyscraper, so skyscraper, and then let's set it equal to Empire State Building, so Empire State Building. Now we'll run that. Okay, good stuff, another check. Now inside the function include a return statement like this. Return the stars over the city plus skyscraper variable in plus city, so it's calling on city of New York value. So we'll return it now. Control C, Control V, and we'll run. Very nice. Now beneath the log city skyline function, use console.log to log value of log city skyline to the console. Okay. So console.log log city skyline. We'll call it. Now we'll run. New York City. The stars over the Empire State Building in New York City. Very nice. You'll notice that the log city skyline function is able to access both variables without any problems. In the next exercise, we'll consider why would it be preferable to have one variable outside of a block and the other inside of a block. Alright, so we have one variable globally, which is New York City. Then we have one variable locally, which is skyscraper, Empire State Building. I see. So, go on to the next one. Now, in the next video, in our tutorial series on JavaScript, we'll be taking a look at global scope. So, thanks very much for watching. Be sure to practice the code. Comment down below what you're currently learning or what languages, and I'll see you in the next one. Good luck.